Craft Brews, Casual Conversations. My name is Rob. I mean, it's true.
Yeah, I'm Rob.
I legitimately did not do that on purpose. His name is Rob. My name is Drew. The porch dog's name is Phil. He's being kind of a bitch. We're drinking a Pilsner thing. This is Dudes with Brews on a Porch.
Dudes with Brews on a Porch presents to you another edition of Strange Brews, Conspiracies, Murder, Ghost Stories, Aliens. They're all coming to get you, my dears.
Hello.
Yeah.
Rob, today we're doing things a little differently. We're not interviewing anyone this episode, which...
So we're doing things more normally.
Correct. Thanks again to Ashley Morgan for talking to us. And, of course, thanks to our friend Todd from Haunted State for talking to us as well. I
was bummed about that.
The proverbial us. We'll get him back on. He's just a phone call away.
All right.
We're drinking Brewdogs Lost Lager, and kind of keeping it with the strange aspect of it, Rob, because Lost Lager, first of all, born in Scotland, brewed in the USA from Ohio, where Brewdog Brewing takes place. Unicorns, Rob. Unicorns are the national animal of Scotland. Did you know that?
Do they call them lost dogs?
I don't know. This is their homeland, though. They're also...
Scotland's got all the cool stuff.
They sure do.
Fairies and unicorns. And
everything.
Well, Ireland has got leprechauns, I guess. But they're like the same, basically, right?
Yeah. Unicorns are also the inspiration behind this audacious approach. I don't mess up the word audacious. I mess up the word approach to alternative altruism dubbed the Unicorn Fund. We brewed this beer to celebrate the impact that the Unicorn Fund has on the world around us. Find out more at brewdog.com/unicornfund, F-U-N-D. Lost Lager takes back the ground lost over decades by larger monoliths. Lost Lager is a dry hopped Pilsner made with classic German Saphir hops, giving vibrant citrus and stone fruit notes built from the Bavarian yeast. It has a crisp, clean taste. This is the lager, like it was, like it should be, and like it will always be with Brewdogs.
It's the unicorn of beers.
Goddamn right. 4.7 ABV. Don't know what it is on the IBUs.
It's surprising. So you got Bavarian something, German hops, born in Scotland, but brewed and sold in America. It's a worldwide beer.
This is
It's bringing people together.
Yeah, you know, the people who drive around with that coexist bumper sticker, this beer's for them.
Yeah.
If this isn't the definition of coexisting, goddamn it, I don't know what it is. Let's smell it, Rob. What does it smell like to you? Kind of smells like a Bud Light.
Yeah, I guess it has that normal beer smell.
You know what? This is a classic old town beer. This is it.
Yeah.
You want a light beer? You want something that's not going to be too upfront with the hoppiness, something that's not very bitter. You're like, you know, I'm sick of drinking these Coors Lights. Fuck that Silver Bullet. Let's drink a Lost Lager. This is it. This is it, man.
What's the calorie count on this? Because I just ate some KFC and I need to
Rob, I'm going on a run later. Just so you know.
Yeah, I think I've well established how I feel about running.
I'm going on one later. You want to bike along with me while I run?
Probably not.
Okay.
Sorry.
You know, I thought I'd include you, but just a quick note on that. For those of you that are interested, I made the page. I don't know if we've talked about it. I've made
Runzies.
Me Runzies.
Runzies.
And I got some fun facts for you, Rob. All right, get this. So I've been posting on Me Runzies every time I go on a Runzie. Of course, I'm wearing an article of Me Onesies, whether it be...
Me Undies, you mean?
Right. I'm sorry. Me Undies. Whether it be socks, underwear, a hat, things along that nature. And then I post it. Post what I'm wearing. I post my trail, my mileage, all that kind of shit. Follow me on Instagram, Me Runzies. I've also been posting those posts. I've been linking them to the Dudes with Brews Instagram. Why not? You know?
Yeah, sure.
Rob, I use hashtag Me Runzies, hashtag Me Undies, and then hashtag No More Sweaty Taint on my last one. And a person that I would think is very important liked it.
Heck yeah.
The CEO and founder of MeUndies
Hell yeah.
liked the post, liked the picture of my butt presenting the underwear that I was wearing on my run.
Things they talked about you in a board meeting?
I fucking hope so. Because, and then I was like, all right, so we're on to something, I think. Mm-hmm. We're one step closer, Rob.
I could see somebody pulling that page up, picture ass, and they go, this is the kind of grassroots advertising that this company was founded on.
Yes. Yeah, I think so too. And let me read to you what the description was, all right? Now, picture this. It's a very dark, windy evening, but that doesn't stop me. Phil is going apeshit on Rob's arm, and now he's going apeshit and on the floor. Phil,
Stop, Phil.
Phil, calm down.
All I want him to do is
Trying to set the mood here, you dickhead.
just didn't want him to eat the Velcro thing on the cord.
Took a runzie tonight. It was windy, much like the print of my MeUndies. My balls were like snow cones, but only if they were made from the pure snow particles of the North Pole. While they were chilly, they are sweat-free. Regardless of what my map says, I ran 3 miles, had a solid pace, listening to some great tunes, and living the comfort life when all of a sudden my ancient piece of trash phone died.
Oh.
Till next time.
Took a turn there.
Yeah, this phone's a piece of shit. It was like the last like fucking quarter of a mile it died. It pissed me
So
off.
you had to go in silence? Did you sing to yourself? What did you think to yourself?
No, I said, God damn it, really loud, and then I
sat down and just waited for a ride.
just kept running. No, I was like right very
I
close.
don't run without music.
I don't like to. But I don't have that many followers, Rob. I'd like some more.
What do you want again?
It's Instagram, me runsies.
Okay,
one word, me runsies.
I don't have Instagram, but
31 followers only.
it's not bad.
But I only have five posts, so we're working it. We're building it. All right, so
Phil, I don't know if you should eat that blanket.
fucking goddamn dog.
You should get his teeth taken out.
Yeah, good idea. All right.
Then
so,
just give him soft food.
Rob, we're a week away from whatever that holiday is.
Halloween.
We're continuing our trend with the strange brew type of topics. Last week we talked to a person that was in a horror movie. Doesn't get any more strange than that.
Right?
You know? 'Tis the season.
Yeah.
That shit. The strangest thing is my dog won't stop licking this fucking blanket.
Yeah, he's going all in.
We're talking about some small town monsters.
Yeah, there's a production company that I really enjoy the documentaries that they make. It's called Small Town Monsters.
Okay.
They're released on Amazon just so anybody can know them. I wished that I could have done rewatched a couple things and looked into a couple things, but I had to give my brother a ride to Sheboygan, so we're going
piece
off
of
my
shit.
Yeah, we're going off my memory.
Not you, Trevor.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
Always. Yeah. Whenever I hear, no, I shouldn't say that. So I mean, and just for
Let him out.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, we're putting the microphone down. Phil was looking at the door. We're gonna get him outside because this pooch has some energy to burn off, and he's got to get out there. You know, he just went to town on Rob's leg a couple weeks ago. Got to get him neutered. Part of the process. Isn't it weird? I was thinking the other day, or today actually, when I was driving home from work, I was like, I saw a dead deer, and I said, what if we lived in a world where just people were dead everywhere?
Well, that happened for a while, and health was bad.
Yeah. Anyways, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Small town monsters.
Small Town Monsters. So they've got quite a few documentaries out there, but we're gonna focus in on three that reside in the same general area.
Okay.
So there's the Flatwoods Monster, Mothman of Point Pleasant,
that was a show too.
It was a movie with Richard Gere.
It used to be, I think it was called a TV.
Or are you
show,
talking
too.
about Point Pleasant?
Point Pleasant.
Yeah, it's not the same place, though.
Oh, all right.
I don't think. I never saw
Oh.
the show.
Fuck, I don't remember. Got canceled. Anyways, Go continue.
And then there's like an all-encompassing one that's called called Invasion on Chestnut Ridge, which is super interesting. This is an area by West Virginia and Pennsylvania, in that like there's like a ridge that spans down the East Coast area over there, and a lot of crazy shit happens over there, Drew.
Okay, like what?
I'm glad you asked. Well, going back, so if we want to go kind of chronologically, which we're probably going to get it wrong because I didn't research this recently, so I don't have it all in my memory banks.
It's all right.
As great as I should. But so the Mothman came after the Flatwoods Monster incident, which I believe happened in 1952.
Okay.
Let me just double check that on my magic window box.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
It does to our listeners.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, somewhere in there, 1952. Yep. Mm-hmm. But I want to touch on the Mothman because actually in like the early 1900s, there were in the Point Pleasant area and in that area in general, there was like many sightings of what they called a huge bird that had the exact same descriptors as the Mothman. Mm-hmm. But it was classified as a thunderbird or just a giant bird with red eyes. And that went like, I don't know, that kind of went largely forgotten for a few decades before the Mothman showed up. And I believe the 60s or the 70s. I think it was the 60s. So anyway, in 1952, there was a UFO incident in a small like rural town of Flatwoods or around Flatwoods. And this is this is like one of the most insane UFO stories that in my opinion, because you've got sorry, I just coughed right into the mic. There's like multiple witnesses that got close up, like had close encounters with this thing that like resided in the woods for a while, but it was like huge. It was like a 15-foot, like 12 to 15 foot, really weird looking thing. It's not your average monster / UFO. I would highly suggest anybody look up a picture of it because it almost looked like this mechanical thing that kind of floated and had a cape. Yeah. And I think the head kind of looked like an onion upside down. Came to a point at the top, sort of. And it had like these long mechanical arms. And but there were people that got pretty close to this thing. So, somebody, I forget when the first person that saw it was, but I believe it was like there were these two girls that were walking, and there's a sulfuric smell that comes with it.
Isn't that always like the thing? Two girls are walking.
Something like that.
And then danger's lurking around the corner.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
It is.
In modern day America, at least. I'm sorry it is that way. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah, me too.
But the Flatwoods
Monster. It's good to know that you're paying attention.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I am paying attention. I just said flat foot.
Yep. It doesn't have feet. It floats.
Interesting enough.
No, I think it does have feet.
It does have feet? Okay.
But it kind of like, I don't know if I would look at its feet either if it was coming at me.
I'd be terrified that something like that's coming at me is my problem.
The person that, like, one of the two girls that saw it, because they ran from it, and when one of them looked back, it like was right on, like, real close to the other girl.
Okay.
So they were like, she still won't go down to that area because she's still alive. She's like a grandma now.
Probably because she's geriatric and can't walk.
No, she can walk. She was like 10 in the 50s.
That monster.
She's like probably in her 70s.
All senior citizens should have life alert in case the Flatwoods Monster tries to get you.
That's probably their advertising slogan.
Give them a cookie. Because I'm 87 years old.
Butterscotch candy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, so it comes with a sulfuric like smell, which seems to accompany multiple.
That's like sightings. A lot of things, like sulfuric smell. Isn't that kind of like
Well, this is what I talked about even with Ashley last week. We brought this up. A baby crying for whatever reason when humans or humanity, like when we get scared, there's a large portion of us that for whatever reason our brain like picks up sound waves and hears a baby crying. And that comes with like a lot of UFO sightings and Bigfoot sightings really is a big one but paranormal things, ghosts and Bigfoot sightings come with this like baby crying sound.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's just the way the mind.
Oh, so this thing is part of Project Blue Book?
No, I don't think so.
That's what it says here.
Oh, okay.
On the History Channel website, it says, scared people plenty. There was a boy 6 or age 10 to 17. And it said there was an encounter that made local and national news, scaring a wider swath of people, prompted U.S. Air Force UFO inquiry, part of the project called Project Blue Book.
I didn't realize there was a part of Project Blue Book, but this is where things are going to get a little dicey for this episode because there's a couple things like there's the Kecksburg. I'm sure anybody that's into paranormal stuff knows about Kecksburg, which is a UFO crash that happened sometime after. I've got it pulled up. Just give me 1 second. In 1965, and in I want to say it was the Flatwoods thing, but it might have been the Kecksburg incident. I might be getting these two things mixed up. That Air Force and the Army came in and removed an item and took it away, and they actually reported it in the paper. I'm pretty sure this is Kecksburg. They reported it in the paper, and then in the later edition of the paper said they found nothing. So it was almost identical to Roswell in the sense of how the media campaign went.
Oh, okay.
Where, they claimed that they had something, people saw something, and then they just decided, we'll just change our story and forget about it.
So a lot of people, though, so this primarily, though, was just UFO stuff.
Well, that's where I'm starting.
Okay.
When it comes down to the Chestnut Ridge area itself, there's an insane amount of, there's like, this is where one of the places where the theory that Bigfoots are coming from interdimensional, like through interdimensional travel or are linked to UFOs kind of one of the places where there's evidence for it, if not where it originated.
Right.
Because there's been multiple sightings of UFOs and Bigfoots in the same area and even interdimensional like doorways as far as they can understand it.
Yeah.
Like these weird light squares that open up and then close. And, before or after a Bigfoot sighting or a UFO sighting in the area, there'll be these weird like light things and lights in the woods, and then you'll see something, and then the light you'll see like these flashes of light through the trees or deep in the woods, and then no one can find anything because they look. I mean, even with the Flatwoods Monster, after those two girls, there was a whole family that had an incident, like 6 or 7 people with flashlights and everything. It was at night, but they had their flashlights on the creature. I mean, this is like a 12 to 15 foot creature. It's not something that you just like glimpse something out of the corner of your eye and you go, I just saw a Bigfoot. Like this is like something towering as tall as a tree is coming at you. Scary as shit.
Yeah.
But I would still love to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's seen it for a while, I don't think. But even the Chestnut Ridge, I mean, there are tons of videos, UFO videos, and
yeah, if no one's seen it for a while, couldn't that even solidify it a little bit more that it was an
definitely
species?
Yeah, that's definitely one
Cue
of the
the
things
Beastie
that's
Boys.
brought up. Yeah, right.
Intergalactic.
Do you have their rights?
Yeah, you can play 30 seconds, can't you?
All right. I don't know it, but
I don't know. Continue. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's like for whatever reason, this whole area, because there's a whole thing with these like dwarves or like
They're called
ground
little
hill people,
okay?
like in Kentucky and which I know that we're talking about different states, but still in terms of the region of the United States, there's a lot of stuff that's going on over there, and it's continuous. It's all the time.
Have you you seen Joker yet?
No.
Oh,
Did we talk about this?
there's a little person in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now the things I'm talking about are
I know. what you
mythical,
mean. I got you.
paranormal creatures.
Great
Like,
movie, by the way.
Probably not to be.
Great movie. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
I've heard mixed things.
There's parts where I like wanted to laugh because I thought it was funny, and nobody else laughed.
Well, that's because you're a psychopath.
There's funny, dude. There's. I think it's meant to be funny,
Yeah.
but most people just don't either get the humor or what.
You could have started a laugh like a slow clap.
What preceded
Call
it?
it Drew's slow
preceded.
laugh.
That's like before it, right? Or is that after?
Preceded as before.
Yeah. What preceded it was intense, but then I was like, but then it gets funny. Great movie.
I do want to see that.
I loved it. I'll see it again. I'll see it with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still in the theater?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. Like the thing about these instances, that's like, it's just such a small area for such a wide net of like severe numbers of sightings, and it's like the Skinwalker Ranch, only.
But to me, that.
on the East Coast, and it's a bigger area, but it's so much stuff.
But to me, that. I would like if you're looking at it from like a skeptic and a person who like trusts this type of thing, like all these weird things happening in one kind of a specific area. To me, I would think that's more accurate. Like that's a more truthful
And
story.
one of the
thing.
things that the people on the ridge would say, because this has gone back for generations, where like their parents and their parents' parents have always said, like, we're up on the ridge, we're easy to
get abducted, get probed.
We're easy to watch, and we're not. We like you can't.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like information won't leave this area. Like it's an area where they can kind of control what's going on, because there's not a lot of ways up there. There's not a lot of ways down. Not a lot of people leave the area. It's small. It's backwoodsy.
Okay.
Which, and that's just lore that's just what they've told their kids. And, like when I'm sure that, I mean, imagine living in a place where like you go and have a talk with your parents about UFOs and they're like, yep, that's just how it is here. Like,
That's why we told you to be inside by 8:30 every night, son. Even when you were 18. We don't want them creatures to pull you up in their device and stick things up your butt.
are you sure?
Well, if you're into that kind of stuff, son, I accept you, and we'll make arrangements.
All right. Yeah, they're just watching. Doesn't matter. They're always watching, though.
Do you think?
At least there.
There's an episode of the X-Files where Mulder's like, "Are they here?" And the guy's like, "They've been here for a while," or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that's.
They're here and they've been here for a while.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah. Why? So we got the Flatwoods Monster.
The Flatwoods Monster is just crazy because of the sheer like insanity of what it is, what it looks like. It's so different than every other UFO case or alien case that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, most times you hear about grays, which are small, or
Gray things.
There is like a small percentage of people that get abducted by grays that also see this like praying mantis type creature.
Mm-hmm.
But that's rare in and of itself. But this is like seriously like some people say 15 feet, some people say 12. It's somewhere in there. Mechanical, crazy probe-like device that has tried like back then tried to grab people, followed people. It didn't just disappear once you saw it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really trying to hide itself. It came in mist and sulfur smell and at night. But once you saw it, it came after you. I mean, that's pretty creepy and scary.
Yeah.
Phil's barking at your neighbor
Is
or
he?
somebody walking a dog. He's allowed to bark.
Dude, there was a parade last week. The city that we're in had its homecoming, and of course the parade, because I live right across the street from the high school. The parade
Started
comes down
right
my
there.
street. Ashton wanted to go watch it, so I take him, and then I wanted to take Phil, but Phil was going nuts. So I put him in the backyard, and the whole time he was just fucking barking and barking and barking and barking and barking.
It's because he's a dog.
Phil! Shut up!
I can't believe that worked.
Okay. There's a we want to talk about other stuff too.
All right, yeah. So let's get into the Mothman. How about?
Yeah.
Because this Mothman is so cool.
Okay. So I don't know much about the Mothman. I didn't know anything about Flatfoot 56 either.
Yeah. Flatfoot on Route 66.
Flatfoot 56 is a band.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mothman is Mothman is really crazy. Anybody that likes paranormal stuff should look into Mothman.
Well, it's one of the classics, is it not? It's one of the big things.
It is, but it's not even because of the Mothman itself. It's because of everything that happened around the Mothman. Even when
Sorry.
that time I might have hit the button.
Even when you get into the
I think it's John Keel who wrote a book on Mothman. There were two guys that wrote books. One was
what's going on?
a Leaf.
Okay.
There was one guy that wrote like a book that wasn't as in depth, and then there was John Keel who wrote a book that was like more in depth, but he got sucked into the story. So, like to reiterate, back in like the 1910s or 1920s, there were in that area a bunch of sightings of something that was very similar to the Mothman, but was labeled a Thunderbird, which is just like a bird with a huge, like a 15-foot wingspan or whatever. Yeah, like not possible, basically. And it don't like and it had a lot of the same descriptors, red eyes, and when it flew, they don't flap their, like the Mothman doesn't flap its wings when it takes off. It just takes off.
Like Superman.
Yeah. And it does like once it's in the sky, it kind of flaps every once in a while, but it doesn't need to flap its wings excessively to get off the ground. It just jumps straight up. And there's accounts of it jumping 5 stories up without even using its wings.
Okay.
And so accompanying with that, I think this started when the first real sighting was these 4 construction guys saw a huge bird, what they called a huge bird, sitting on some power lines, a ways away. That was like the first time it was spotted. Mm-hmm. But then like after they spotted it, a bunch of crazy stuff started happening around and in Point Pleasant. Which there's, I wish I could remember. It's something Cole, Norman Cole, or something like that.
Okay.
Which is which was an alien, a guy driving down the street got pulled over essentially by a UFO. Like it hovered across the top of him, landed in front of his car, and then a guy got out, Mr. Cole. Walked up smiling and asked him what the directions were, and asked him for directions. And this Cole guy, has been seen in the multiple times, always asking things in weird ways, where almost like he's trying, English isn't his first language, and America and the United States isn't his first country.
Yeah.
And everything with the so there were multiple sightings of the Mothman building more and more all around this power plant area where it seemed to kind of hang out or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so once more and more of these sightings happened and more UFO things and strange occurrences happened, Keel came down and started writing this book. And once he got involved, he started getting messages from unknown people who had no way of knowing where he was going to be because he didn't even know where he was going to be.
Yeah.
So he's writing, he, as many writers do, he would go to Point Pleasant and do research and try to, he tried to find the find the Mothman on a few occasions, but interview people who had sightings. And sightings ranged anything from like these construction guys that saw it from miles away, just perched, to people saying it chased their car, to people who literally woke up with it next to their bed, and then it disappeared from out of their room. So like, it doesn't seem, it kind of defies logic how this thing works, because it doesn't need to, it just jumps up and starts flying.
It just shows up in people's bed?
On at least one occasion, a guy woke up in the middle of the night and it was standing by his bed. And then...
it doesn't hurt anybody?
Nobody's been hurt by it. It actually seems to give omens of...
Gives good directions when you're lost?
Well, it needed directions. Cole did. That was in the same area in the same time frame. It's not necessarily related to Mothman, but it kind of is, in the sense that everything kind of started from those two incidents and then built forward and forward to the point where Keel was writing his book. I think it was John Keel, but he was writing this book, and he would be driving across the country to go, or driving back to New York or whatever, and he would just drive until he was tired and then pull off and find a hotel. And he would get to the hotel and there'd be a message there waiting for him that had something to do with that case. No one knew he was going to be there. He didn't even know he was going to be there. And like, it's hard to explain, because like everything kind of, as these sightings got more and more frequent and closer sightings, and Keel was getting messages, and somebody else had and then there was a lady who had a dream of a bunch of Christmas packages floating down a river and dead bodies, and like, which, you know, she equated to the Mothman phenomenon that was going on, and almost looked at it like an omen. And everything essentially crescendoed to this point where on, I forget what the date was. It was Christmas Eve. Okay. Maybe. The bridge that went across I don't know what river it was. I forget, the Ohio River or something. The bridge from Point Pleasant to this other community across the river. They're technically two different towns, but they almost seem like one, because the river is the only thing that separates them. It collapsed. A lot of people died. Everybody, and what ended up, it was Christmas Eve, and there were like packages. Like, her premonition essentially came true. And and then after that, all the Mothman sightings stopped. And until recently, actually, there have been Mothman sightings, I believe, in Chicago in the last. Well,
there was years. Chicago had the thing where it was like what was thought to be like giant gargoyles, flying around the city.
Which Mothman has been seen in multiple places and times, always kind of given a different name. Feel. Yeah,
sure.
And some people drew it more like this like crazy moth creature that didn't really have a neck and had big eyes. Other people talked about it like a gray man with wings. Either way, the thing that people seem to be in agreement on is that red eyes, bigger than anything that should fly, doesn't need to flap its wings to fly, but does, and dark in color. And then there's some other things too, and I don't want to get into, because I've also seen the movie with Richard Gere, and I don't want to like throw in facts from that, because like my brain is jumbling it all up.
It's based off of this.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close. I mean, that movie's really good, and it does give a pretty good representation of what happened, kind of. But it obviously throws in the Hollywood
shit.
Yeah, that is like the mystery that John Keel was trying to solve. That I think in that movie he thought it was going to be, there's like a launch from I want to say Kennedy Space Station Center. No, that's in Florida. There's another NASA center there that was launching something. Mm-hmm. And in the movie, and I don't know if this is true, but in the movie, that's kind of what they thought the premonitions were about, that there's going to be a disaster. And that's what I don't want to mix those two things up, because I don't know if those messages that John Keel got actually pointed him in the direction of the disaster, or if it was just that dream that the lady had. I just know that is absolutely true, that she had a dream that...
Is Richard Gere still alive?
I think so.
Oh, he just doesn't do anything anymore?
Well, when you look like Richard Gere, he's probably a gigolo.
Is he that good looking?
I don't know. My mom had a thing for him.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people did.
Well, they were young when they did, though.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything about it.
No, I don't know. I don't follow Richard Gere. Check his Twitter.
No.
He's probably
Who's the guy
who had pineapples today?
Who's the guy that had throat cancer? Was that Richard Gere?
I thought that was Michael, the guy who played Dexter.
Michael Douglas. No, Michael C. Hall had
yeah, Michael Douglas had it was
cancer.
either Michael Douglas or Martin Sheen. It was definitely Michael Douglas, though, that had the cancer.
Okay. You know why he said he got that cancer?
No.
He performed too much cunning linguists on ladies.
Cunning linguist?
Oh.
That was a mispronunciation.
Shoot.
That was a mispronunciation.
It's going to be a hard edit right there.
Whatever. Jesus Christ. And not what I meant to. I meant to say it the way you said it, which was wrong.
Cunning linguist.
It's cunnilingus.
Cunning linguist. C-U-N-N. I-N-G. Linguist.
Okay.
He ate too much box is what he is essentially what he said.
But it sounded to me like you're saying cutting linguist.
Not cutting. Cunning.
And that's what I was trying to make fun of you for that. But you know.
You said it wrong.
Whatever, Jesus.
I'll leave it in.
You might as well now. It was an accident.
I know it was. One
Words.
time I was
Maybe we shouldn't be doing this if we can't speak properly.
One time I was on air on live radio with somebody, and they tried to say the word cut, but they said that word live.
And was it obvious?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Nothing. I laughed. Actually, I don't know if I laughed. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, that was my reaction. Similar to what just happened.
If you don't call attention to
God.
it, people might just like, in a podcast it's a little different because
there's a long pause.
Yeah, you can rewind it. But on Three's Company, Ritter showed his balls on one episode and nobody knew about it until VHS came out.
Three's Company.
Yeah.
John Ritter?
Yeah, what did I say?
You said Ritter.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on some other show?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yes.
Okay.
You are correct, sir. His daughter and his son are on shows now. But either way, I'm just saying, like, nobody drew attention to it and nobody could. And then as soon as VHS came out, somebody took the time to somebody who saw that scene and they're like, I think I saw a ball. And they got the VHS set and the rest is history.
Huh.
Sometimes they air it secretly. That's no joke. They normally air the edited version, but every once in a while they slip that ball shot in there just to see if anybody notices.
Richard Gere, that's what triggered all this.
Yes.
Michael Douglas. Michael C. Hall had Hodgkins.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's okay now.
Basically, when it comes down to what we're like, this is an overview of what we're talking about, these three subjects. But if you want more information, and I guarantee, and I promise you that the documentaries have more information than what I just gave.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. So
Inform.
It's like,
but they don't provide the humorous aspects.
Yeah, you're not going to hear about Phil on.
No, you're not going to accidentally hear a C word either.
No, I don't think so. I haven't gone back and rewound though, so.
It was legitimately an accident.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, no, and there's multiples. There's one about Wisconsin. We've kind of talked about the Dogmen of Wisconsin, and there wasn't really very much information on it back when we talked about it, but more has kind of come out.
I don't remember that.
It was like a real small snippet of information, because that really does interest me. I'd like to know more about it.
Anything.
But there's like the Minerva monster and which are a couple of the other ones are more these weird like Bigfoot monsters that are specific to certain locations. Mm-hmm. But all the small town monster documentaries are actually really good. I enjoy them.
We never talked about the Hodag.
That's okay.
That's a Wisconsin thing. Rylander, the Hodag.
Did you know that there's...
I don't know what the fuck it is, but...
There's... I just found out that there is a... We can kind of get into this a little bit.
I swear a lot. You don't swear that much. Sorry.
That's... Normally I do. I don't know why I'm not. But there's a Lake Winnebago monster, which I've looked more into, and it is definitely Lake Winnebago.
Really?
Yeah. There's a Bermuda like a Bermuda-esque triangle called the Michigan Triangle, which this is really kind of crazy. In a small triangle section of Lake Michigan, multiple things have happened. One of them being an entire commercial airliner. It was a small one, albeit, but completely disappeared, never been found, never any debris, 37 people, 14 crew or something like that. Disappeared. There's a memorial stone put up somewhere on Lake Michigan. Also in that triangle, there was a captain of an older ship who locked himself into his cabin to take a nap and locked from the inside, everything closed up from the inside, disappeared, never seen again. And they had to break down the door and never found him again.
All right.
So there's some real interesting stuff going on right around us. Also, the circus was founded. The Ringling Brothers Circus, founded in Baraboo.
Really?
Yeah.
Baraboo, Wisconsin, huh?
We've actually got a big circus background. The other, another big circus had its origins in...
The other circus? What other circus is there?
There was some...
Ringling stopped doing circuses.
Well, the brothers all died.
They all dead?
As far as... I don't know if... the fifth one's got to be dead, but at a certain point, it was down to one. But also the... God, why can't I think of...
circuses come around? Are those still a thing? Really?
I don't think that they are. Is not like the way they used to be. But,
I've gone to circuses.
Barnum had a big circus as well, and whoever is
P.T. Barnum?
Yeah,
who's that?
You know,
circus guy? P.T. Barnum. Why does that sound so familiar?
He did the freak show stuff. He had the Curiosities, the Museum of Curiosities, like the Fiji Mermaid, and he's
not the fucker from The Greatest Showman, is he?
Yeah, The Greatest Showman.
That movie's based off him?
Yeah.
That movie with all the fucking songs and Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman?
Saw it, but yeah.
Don't. Those songs will haunt your dreams. Because especially if you have small kids.
That's sad that they took somebody...
There's a song called A Million Dreams. It's keeping me awake. You know what's keeping me awake? The echo of that fucking song. Over and over in my mind.
Yeah, as much as I like Hugh Jackman, he probably shouldn't, He might be a great singer, but...
He is a good singer. Well, who knew Wolverine had some pipes?
Well...
Like vocal pipes.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of things going on. Wolverine.
Yeah, he does.
Logan, R.I.P.
Is that a spoiler?
Yeah, I've never even seen it, but I know what happens.
Happens to us all.
Watch the beginning of Deadpool 2. It shows you right away.
Deadpool would do that. Also, I've seen Deadpool 2. Why doesn't it? I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, I know. You said it's more of the same, which I disagree.
Well, we can do that.
But, we wouldn't disagree on Joker.
I will check out Joker.
Intense movie.
You know what else we don't disagree on?
What?
MeUndies.
Yeah, MeUndies. Me Runsies. I wish you would join me on my run today. You got a bicycle?
I do, but it's in bad shape right now. I got to get a new back tire. It's all bent.
Yeah, my front tire is... I think my back tire on my bike is flat as well.
So...
Did you go on a run with me?
I'm not running today.
Let me feel good about myself. Let me just bolt past you.
That will happen. But I'm sorry. It's not going to happen today.
All right.
Some things have been going on, and that's just not... But I have been talking about exercising more. Because I'm having real anxiety issues, and I haven't been sleeping well at all. And...
Sorry to hear that.
So, yeah, I'm thinking that exercise will help.
Yeah, they say exercise makes you feel good.
Yeah.
I'm happy when it's over.
It will at least make me tired because I'm at this point where it's like I am wide awake all night. Like I'm having like these like weird like mini anxiety attacks whenever
Why?
I try and sleep.
Why?
I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't have them.
Any spooky shit going on in your world?
I wouldn't even know if it was.
Really?
Yeah. My mind's been elsewhere lately.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I'm talking about it right now.
Oh.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. I'm here for you, Rob.
But yeah, check out that stuff on the Chestnut Ridge area. It's all super interesting. There's people who dedicate
Their lives.
their
Livelihood.
literally, their lives to only investigating things that happen in that area.
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
You know,
Do you think the Flatwoods Monster is a conspiracy by that town to gain fame and have a museum and
no. Why would you do? I mean, well, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, that's what they're known for now.
To me, would think the more realistic things of the things that we spoke about, the Mothman and the Flatwoods Monster.
The Mothman is like I totally believe in Mothman.
Really?
And I don't know if it's actually a Mothman per se, but it's definitely some phenomenon with either the human mind or a space-time trick that allows us to somehow see what we need to see to give like almost as that gives us this warning. It's like it is like these premonitions that there and this is one thing that's from the movie, the Mothman movie, is at one point Richard Gere talks to the monster, like to the Mothman, and
He's like a really well spoken.
No. It was like,
Who are you? well, fair sir.
I am the Mothman.
Please have a seat. My name is Moth, and I'm
Watch
here.
while I jump into the air.
I'm here to explore your country, your world. I come from a distant planet far, far away. I have big wings. Have you noticed? I fly real high. I just jump and they just go in the air.
That's very interesting. Can I see?
Why, yes. Here we go.
I can only do it when no one is watching. But
Too much pressure. Please stop looking at me. I must leave now, but you have to turn around for my exit.
And I'm a vampire now.
I want to suck your blood.
Yes. There's got a little vampire there.
I'm going to see my friend. You may know him. His name is, he was a vice principal. What the fuck was his name? I don't remember. Fuck.
Hashtag what?
God damn it. What is his name? He's Italian.
Yeah, I can't even remember. That's sad.
God damn it.
Yeah, but and this I don't know if this comes from the true story or not. I wouldn't doubt that it does. But at one point, it says to him like telepathically or whatever that people see what their mind allows them to comprehend when they see the Mothman, which is interesting. Whether that's true or not, that's an interesting idea for paranormal issues.
Jalapsy.
Yeah, it was jalopy or something.
Jalopy. Okay.
Choppy jalopy.
Kids will pay.
It's me.
Mr. Jalopy, I kill all your students. And then I go home and make spicy meatballs.
I'm Mr. Mothman. Your wings are so beautiful. Can we end on a callback?
I had something I want to see. I don't remember.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. Okay, well, yeah, look into that.
Check out the Small Town Monster Productions. Seth Breedlove is the guy that he produces, directs, and writes like all the.
Breedlove?
Yeah, his last name is Breedlove.
Weird.
So shout out to him. I enjoy his stuff quite a bit. So look it up.
And make sure you look us up on the Untapped app. You can follow us on all the things that we're drinking. Untapped, we are Dudes with Brews. You can find us on there. Be our friends. Cheer us for all the beers we drink. Follow us on Twitter at Dudes on a Porch. Email us. The dudes on a porch at gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Also follow us on Instagram, Dudes with Brews Pod. See all the pictures and shit that we post.
Don't just follow us, message us.
Message us the stuff you want us to talk about. If you have strange brew episodes, topics you like us to discuss, let us know. Also, follow me runsies if you would. Follow me on my journey to becoming less of a fat fuck. And I signed up for a half marathon in April, so now I have to train for it.
Oh yeah.
So do that. We drank Lost Dog, fuck my life. We drank Brewdog Lost Lager, a dry hop pilsner. It gives cred to the fine animal that is the unicorn, which I have unicorns on one of my pair of MeUndies. Which
all comes around.
You should enjoy it. All comes around. Make sure you check out MeUndies, and for whatever reason, if you happen to stumble upon someone that works there, be like, hey, my friends and Dudes with Brews, and Phil's fucking barking. Drink it or dump it, Rob. I say drink it.
Drink it.
All right, Phil, what you say? Phil. Shut up. Bye.
Pew pew audio. Goodbye, everyone.